Hari Om. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Hiranyagarbhaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahavishnave Namaha. Om Shri Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Shri Mahadurgaye Namaha. Om Shri Rama Ramaya Namaha. Om Shri Sadgurave Namaha. Om Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidparam Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashyakrito Vande Bhagavanto Punah Punah Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Sada Shivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Ishvaro Gururatmiti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Shankaram Paramanandam Brahmanishtam Yatishwaram Bhashyabhrantiharam Vande Shuddhatnyanaikabodhakam Om Namah Shivaya, 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 Namah Parvati Pataye, Har Har Mahadeva. Hari Om, Hari Om. Wish you all a very happy Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankaracharya Ji's Jayanti. Today is the auspicious day when Shankaracharya Ji had taken avatar many years ago. Though the official date is given as 788 AD, the four matas which Bhagavan established in the four directions of Bharat they have their own records. And as per their records, the date mentioned is different. According to the Dwarka Matha, which is on the west, the date of birth of Shankaracharya ji is given as 491 BC. According to Jyotirmath, which is in the north, the date mentioned is 485 BC. As per the Jagannath Puri Mutt, which is on the east, the date mentioned is 484 BC. And as per Sringeri Mutt, which is located in the south, the date mentioned is 483 BC. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is the avatar of Bhagavan Shiva, and he was born in Kerala. His father's place was Kaladi, and his mother's place was Velianad. So he was born at his mother's place, Velianad. And right from his childhood, he presented a very special personality. He was born to the couple, very devout couple, Aryamba and Shivaguru. There is a story that they did not have any children, so they prayed to Bhagavan Shiva, and Bhagavan Shiva was very pleased with them, and he appeared in their dream, and they requested Bhagavan that we want a child just like you. So Bhagavan gave them Ashirvad, and he himself was born as their child. There is a very beautiful shloka. In that one shloka itself, briefly the life of Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankaracharya ji is described. The author of this shloka is not known, it is anonymous. It is in Sanskrit. So let me chant the shloka. आर्यायामुदितो हि कालटिपुरे सर्वज्ञधि सन्न्यसन् गोविन्दादधिगम्य हंस पदवीं व्यासादिदृग्भाष्यकृत वाणीमण्डनदिग्जयी नृहरिणा संरक्षितः शिष्ययुग कृत्वा पीठचतुष्कमत्त भगवान् कैलासगः शङ्करः आर्यायाम् उदितो हि कालटिपुरे. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji was born through his mother Aryamba at Kalati, Miss Kaladi in Kerala. And Bhagavan, right from his childhood, was endowed with the knowledge of all the Shastras. Sarvajna Dhihi, he was Sarvajna. His father was also a very devout person, and he used to teach the Shastras. But then his father expired when Shankaracharya ji was a little boy. And thereafter, Shankaracharya ji started teaching in his home to sincere students. At the age of 8, Shankaracharya ji, great Vairagya, he wanted to go in search of a teacher and learn the Shastras properly from the teacher. So he wanted permission from his mother, but the mother was very fond of Shankaracharya ji, little Shankara, that she did not give him permission to go. But then that incident happened. All of you must have heard that when Shankaracharya ji accompanied his mother to the nearby river, and he was swimming in that river, at that time a crocodile caught his feet and started pulling him inside the river. So Shankaracharya ji called out for his mother and said that, see, now this crocodile is about to eat me, but before I die, please give me permission to take sannyas, because sannyas is the ultimate thing which we should do before we attain that supreme goal of enlightenment. Renounce all worldly karma as well as otherworldly karma and dedicate oneself to attaining self-realization. So mother, seeing the whole situation, gave him the permission, and Bhagavan took sannyas. But a miracle happened. The crocodile also left him, and he safely swam on the bank of the river. But then, since he had taken sannyas, he did namaskar to his mother, and he said, I am going in search of a teacher. And he promised his mother that I will come and meet you again before you leave this world. And Shankaracharya ji went in search of his teacher. He reached Omkareshwara. And there he met his teacher Govinda Padacharya ji. So Sarvatnya Dehi Sanyasan Govindat Adhigamya Hamsa Padavim. So he stayed with Govinda Padacharya ji. He studied the Shastras under his guidance. And Govinda Padacharya ji gave him Sannyasa Diksha. He became Paramahamsa Sannyasi. And then Shankaracharya ji went to Somanath. From Somnath he went to Varanasi. That is Kashi. And from Kashi he went to Badrinath. And in Badrinath, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji had darshan of Veda Vyasji. Vyasadidruk. Shankaracharya ji met Veda Vyasji. Veda Vyasji blessed him, gave him his Ashirvad, and directed him to write the commentaries, Bhashya, on the Prasthantraya. So Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, with the blessings of his teacher Govinda Padacharya ji, and with the direct blessings of Veda Vyasji. Veda Vyasji is Chiranjeevi, he is present even now in this Kali Yuga. So with the blessings of Veda Vyasji, Shankaracharya ji started writing the Bhashya on the Prasthantraya. He wrote Bhashya on 10 Upanishad. Isha Kena Katha Prashna Munda Mandukya Tittirihi Aitariyancha Chandogyam Brihadaranyakam Tatha. On this 10 Upanishad, he wrote commentaries. Bhagavan also wrote commentaries on the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And then he also wrote a masterful commentary on the Brahma Sutra. The Brahma Sutras are written by Veda Vyasji, also known as Badarayana. There are 555 sutras having 191 topics. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji wrote very masterful Bhashya on this Brahma Sutra. Thereafter, Bhagavan went to Nepal. From Badrinath, he went to Nepal. From Nepal again, Bhagavan went to Kashi, that is Varanasi. From there, he went to Prayag, and then he went to Mahishmati. In Mahishmati, Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji met a great scholar of the Vedas, of the Karma Kand portion of the Vedas. a great scholar called Mandan Mishra. He was a householder, and his wife also was a very learned lady. Ubhay Bharati. So Shankaracharya ji had a debate, a Shastrartha with Mandan Mishra. And the Shastrartha went on for many days. Mandan Mishra wanted to establish the supremacy of Purva Mimamsa. Purva Mimamsa is based on the Purva, the initial portion of the Vedas, which talks about karma as the path to attain freedom from all sorrows. Because all of us, we are seeking freedom from all our sorrows and sufferings, and we seek that eternal happiness. So in Karma Kanda, the path shown is karma as revealed in the Vedas. So when one does those karmas as per one's varna and ashrama, then we acquire lot of punya, and after that we can attain Swargaloka, which itself is considered as freedom from all sorrows and eternal happiness. Because in Swarga there is no death, there is no old age, there is no disease, there are no sufferings, there is no pain, there is only pleasure. So one can perform the various rituals mentioned in the Shastras and acquire punya and attain Swargalok. That is what is said in the Purva Bhag of the Vedas. And those who follow this path, they are the Purva Mimamsakas. So Mandan Mishra was a Purva Mimamsaka, a very, very intelligent, scholarly person, having complete faith in the Vedas, in this Karma Kanda portion, and who believed that the Upanishads are also meant for Karma Kanda only. We have to chant the Upanishad and do some ritual and gain some more punya. Shankaracharya ji had a debate with Mandan Mishra. His wife, Ubhay Bharati, became the judge, and the debate went on for many days. Shankaracharya ji wanted to establish the holistic teaching of the Vedas. Though what is said in Karma Kanda is true, but that is just a stepping stone to take us towards Jnana Kanda. And through Jnana only we can gain complete freedom from all sorrows and gain eternal happiness. Because the karma itself is not supreme, Karma is limited, and the result of karma is also limited. Even if one attains Swarga by performing karma and gaining lot of punya, the Swarga will not, our stay in Swarga will not last forever. There is no such thing called eternal heaven. In Gita, Bhagavan says, Kshine punyes martyalokam vishanti. Once the punya karmas are over, one is born again in this mortal world. Only by gaining self-knowledge, one can become free of this repeated cycle of birth and death and gain eternal happiness. So this Shankaracharya ji placed in front of Mandan Mishra. Mandan Mishra also argued against it. Shankaracharya ji showed him through proper praman the limitations of karma kanda and the purpose of the Vedas is to lead us towards jnana. So after many days of debate, finally Mandan Mishra accepted his defeat. He accepted that what Shankaracharya ji is saying is true, is proper, and he decided to renounce and become the disciple of Shankaracharya ji. But his wife, Ubhay Bharati, she said, no, we will accept defeat only if you can defeat me also. Because we are together, we are a couple. You might have defeated my husband, but you have to debate with me and defeat me. So Shankaracharya ji says, okay, we will have a debate. Then Ubhay Bharati, she asked some questions to Shankaracharya ji regarding householder's life, regarding the duties of husband and wife, which only a person who has got the experience of being a householder will be able to answer. And Shankaracharya ji, being a Bal Brahmachari and a sannyasi, he could not answer those questions. So he took permission to, he said, please give me a few days and we will continue this debate. So she said, okay. Then Shankaracharya ji went with his disciple. He was wondering how to answer her questions. Then there was a king who had just expired. His dead body was there. His family members were crying. And Shankaracharya ji kept his own body. He went into meditation in a cave and he told his disciples to protect his body. And he left his body and entered the body of that king. It's called Parakaya Pravesh. It's the most amazing power which Shankaracharya ji had. which is mentioned in the yogic tradition. So he entered the body of the king. Suddenly the dead king came alive, and he lived as a king along with his queens, experiencing the householder's life. And then he again left that body and came back into his own body. And then he approached Ubhay Bharati and answered all her questions. She also then accepted defeat, and they became Shankaracharya's disciples. From Mahishmati, Bhagavan went to Sri Shaila, then to Tirupati. From Tirupati again, Bhagavan went to Kaladi. His mother had become old. She was almost dying. Shankaracharya ji met her, and in his presence itself, she left her body. Shankaracharya ji performed the last rites of his mother. And then from Kaladi, he went to Sringeri, and he established a matha in Sringeri. From Sringeri, Shankaracharya ji went to Jagannath Puri, and he established another matha at Jagannath Puri. Then from Jagannath Puri, he went to Dwarka. In Dwarka, he established a matha. And then from Dwarka, he went to Badrinath in the north. And there he established a matha. From Badrinath, he went to Kashmir. And from Kashmir, Bhagavan then finally went back to Kailash. The shloka says that Vani Mandana Dikchayi, Bhagavan conquered in his debate Uma Bharti and Mandan Mishra. And then there is another incident which happened, that Shankaracharya ji was taken by some people who were doing some rituals, and they wanted to offer Shankaracharya ji himself as a sacrifice. Then one of his disciples, Bhagavan, Narsimha Bhagavan, came in his body, and he protected Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji from those Kapalikas. So, Nri Harina Samrakshita Shishyayuka. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji had many disciples, and 4 of them were very special and well known. So Shankaracharya ji established these 4 mathas and made his 4 disciples the head of these 4 mathas, and he assigned these 4 Vedas to them, 1 Veda to each matha, to protect the Vedas and to propagate the knowledge revealed in the Vedas in that area. So in the 4 directions of our Bharat, Desha, Shankaracharya established these 4 mathas to protect and to propagate the knowledge of the Vedas. So Kritva Pitha Chatushkam Atra Bhagavan Kailashaga Shankaraha. And thereafter Bhagavan went back to Kailash. So he came from Kailash and he went back to Kailash. That is the yatra of Bhagavan. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji is the avatar of Bhagavan Shiva. And as it is said in Bhagavad Gita, कि यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम धर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजामि अहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. That whenever there is decline in dharma and rise in adharma, Bhagavan manifests himself in some form. And why does he? That is called avatar. And why does Bhagavan take avatar? Paritranaya sadhuna. To protect the sadhus, the good people. Good people are those who are following the path of dharma. Vinashaya dushkritam, and to destroy those who are following the path of adharma. And dharma sansthapanarthaya, and to establish dharma, to re-establish dharma, which has become weak, it is rejuvenated, re-established. Shankaracharya ji also did all these 3 things in his life. He protected the sadhus, means the good people who were following the path of dharma, by revealing the proper knowledge of dharma. Because it is one thing that we want to follow the right path, the path of good, but we should also have proper guidance. During Shankaracharya's time, there was so much of confusion in the field of spirituality, in the field of this religion, in the dharma. So much of confusion was there. So many different, though the Vedas are the Praman, but there were so many different interpretations, and there were so many different different faiths in the minds of people. Some of them accepted the Vedas completely. Some of them accepted only a portion of the Vedas. Some just used the terms of the Vedas, but they did not accept Vedas. They had their own philosophy. So different philosophies had emerged, like Vaisheshika, Nyaya, Sankhya, Yoga, Purva Mimamsa, Uttar Mimamsa, Buddhism, Jainism, Charvaka. So many philosophies and different thoughts were there during Shankaracharya's time. So sincere people had total confusion in their mind. Even now, with so many different views available to us easily on the net as well as in the libraries, that we get confused. One view says you you take this path, another says you take this path. And all these views are contrary to each other, in conflict with each other. So sincere person gets thoroughly confused. Sometimes we take little portion of this path, little portion of the other path, make a khichdi out of it, and try to follow that jumbled up philosophy. But that also leads us nowhere. It leads us towards frustration only. So many people gets frustrated in the name of spirituality. Even after doing a lot of sadhana, even after struggling for many years, they find themselves reaching nowhere. So this was the condition during Shankaracharya's time, and therefore he wrote these bhashyas, and in his bhashya he established the right path, the one and only path, the right path, which will take us towards our supreme goal. With proper praman of the Shastras and with a very strong and infallible logic, Bhagavan established the one way which is revealed in the Shastras, which will take us towards our supreme goal. The Shastra says, Nanyah Panta Ayanaya Vidyate, there is no other path than this to attain the supreme goal of enlightenment. But apart from establishing the right path and the right teaching, it is also important to negate all that is wrong, all that is improper. So Shankaracharya ji, in his through his bhashya, he did khandana. He refuted all other philosophies and paths which different thinkers had imagined and were propagating in this world. So Shankaracharya negated, refuted the Vaisheshika Darshana, the Nyaya Darshan. Of course, he took what is proper, what is logical, what is in tune with the Shastras. He did not refute those things, but all those ideas which were not in tune with the Shastras, which were illogical, he refuted by pointing out the fallacy very clearly. So if one studies with an open mind Shankaracharya's bhashya, they will have to accept the refutation because it is as clear as anything else. So he refuted Vaisheshika, Nyaya, even Sankhya. Sankhya darshan is a very powerful darshan, very powerful philosophy, presenting everything very logically, systematically. But that darshan is also not in tune with the Shastras, and there are a lot of logical flaws in that darshana. So Shankaracharya refuted Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya philosophy believes that there are two realities called Prakriti and Purusha. Prakriti is all this matter which we see as this world, and Purusha is that consciousness within this body, the Sakshi of this world, that they call as Purusha. And they believe that there are as many Purusha as there are many bodies, so animal, bird, plant, in all of them there is a Purusha. So there are infinite Purushas, and somehow they are stuck in this Prakriti. And when we separate ourselves from this Prakriti, we will gain that freedom. And the method of separation is revealed in the Yoga Darshan. So Sankhya and Yoga, they go together. Just as Vaisheshika and Nyaya go together. Sankhya and Yoga also go together. Sankhya gives the theory and Yoga gives the practice. Through Abhyas and Vairagya, we can gain separation from Prakriti, and that they consider as moksha. But Shankaracharya ji pointed out the flaws, that even if you happen to understand yourself separate from Prakriti, unless you gain the knowledge of yourself as Brahma and understand this world as Brahma, you will not become free. Again, we will get identified with the Prakriti. So he pointed out the flaws in Sankhya philosophy also in his Bhashya. And Bhagavan Shankaracharya refuted even the Karma Kanda, wherein they believed that only Karma Kanda itself will give us moksha, and moksha is to go to Swarga. That also Bhagavan refuted and presented the importance of Jnana. Jnanat eva tu kaivalyam. Only through self-knowledge one can gain freedom, gain moksha. Again, in those who believed in the Upanishads as the Praman, those who accepted the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutra as Praman, they also had confusion in their minds and came up with different ideas like Dvaita, Vishishta, Dvaita, different views. The Dvaita, they have the view that Ishvara and Jiva are different. They are eternally different. We can go to the world of Ishvara, but we cannot become one with Ishvara. We will always remain different, and only through bhakti we can attain Ishvara's loka. Then the Vishishta Advaita, they believed that the jivas are part of Ishvara, part of that Brahma. They are not one with Brahma, but they are just a amsha. They are just a part, a limb of Brahma. So in this way, there were many different views which also were refuted by Shankaracharya ji in his Bhashya. So through his Bhashya, Shankaracharya ji protected those who were sincere in following this path of Dharma and Brahma. He destroyed the negative views, wrong views. And by removing the wrong views, you also destroy Dharma. See, even those who are following the wrong path, they follow those paths thinking that what they are doing is right. Most of the people, even those who are doing something totally wrong, they will justify what they are doing. They will say what I am doing is proper only. Because they don't know what is right, what is wrong, what is dharma, what is adharma. Even Arjuna, when he came on the battlefield, He just wanted to leave the battlefield and go away. He said, let them fight and kill each other. I don't want to participate in this war, and that is the proper thing for me. But then then Bhagavan Krishna told him that that is not proper. You as a Kshatriya, you have to follow your dharma, you have to protect dharma and fight this war and destroy all these adharmis. So we need to understand what is adharma also, what is wrong, so that we can drop it. So one who studies Shankaracharya's Bhashya sincerely and accept Shankaracharya's words completely with 100% faith will be able to walk this path and attain his goal, his or her goal of enlightenment. Definitely. There's no doubt about it. Our problem is that we don't accept, many of us, we don't accept Shankaracharya completely, holistically. We try to add something more or deduct something. It's like a masterpiece. Like Bhagavad Gita is a masterpiece given by Bhagavan Krishna. We cannot add any new ideas in it, or we cannot reduce anything from it. It is a perfect piece, masterpiece by Bhagavan himself. But if somebody wants to add some shlokas or reduce some shlokas, then it will make the whole thing ugly. Similarly, Shankaracharya's Bhashya is a masterpiece. You cannot add anything in that Bhashya, nor you can subtract anything. But very scholarly people and all, they add and they subtract and they give their own interpretation. So there are so many tikas and tippanis on Shankaracharya's Bhashya, and then there are people who, from their own standpoint, they have written different interpretations of Shankaracharya's Bhashya and created so much of confusion. But if we completely accept Shankaracharya's Bhashya and if there is any question, any doubt, we try to find the answer in the Bhashya itself, because Shankaracharya's Bhashya is complete in itself. He explains himself again and again in different words, in different ways. He has not left anything unsaid. He has not left anything which we need from any other source. So he, through his Bhashya, Bhagavan destroyed the evil and he protected the good. So Paritranaya Sadhunam, he protected the good people who want to follow the path of Dharma. And he destroyed the evil by removing all false concepts from our head. And he established Dharma by establishing these 4 mathas in 4 different directions of Bharat. And these 4 directions are not only meant for the welfare of Bharat, but it is meant for the welfare of the whole world. In the true sense, Bhagavan Shankaracharya himself was a Vishwa Guru, Jagat Guru. Therefore, we call him Jagat Guru Shankaracharya. Jagat Guru means he is the one Guru of the entire world. If the entire world also sincerely, with an open mind, study and and listen to Shankaracharya's Bhashya, they will become free of all their doubts and will be able to pursue the spiritual path and attain their ultimate goal of enlightenment. So today is a very auspicious day wherein we remember Shankaracharya ji and express our gratitude and our reverential namaskar to Shankaracharya ji. We will chant a very beautiful stotra written in praise of Shankaracharya ji by one of his disciples. Totakacharya wrote this Totakastakam. So we will chant this Totakastakam and offer our gratitude and love and reverence to Shankaracharya ji, and then we'll conclude. Viditakil Shastra Sudha Jaladhe Mahitopanishat Katitartha Nidhe Hridaye Kalaye Vimalam Charanam Bhava Shankar Deshikame Sharanam Bhava Shankar Deshikame Sharanam Karunavarunalaya Palaya Mam Bhavasagar Dukkha Vidunardam Rachayakila Darshana Tattvavidam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Bhavata Janata Suhita Bhavita Nijabodha Vicharana Charumate Kalayeshwara Jiva Viveka Vidam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Bhava Eva Bhavaniti Me Nitaram Samajayata Chetasi Kautukita Mama Varaya Moha Jaladhim Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Sukrute Dikrute Bahudha Bhavato Bhavita Samadarshana Lalasata Atidinamimam Paripalayamam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Jagati Mavitum Kalita Kritayo Vicharanti Mahamahasachalataha Ahimam Shurivatra Vibhasi Guru Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Bhava Shankara Deshikame Sharanam Guru Pungava Pungava Ketanate Samatamayatam Nahi Kopi Sudhi शरणागतवत्सल तत्त्वनिधे भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणम् भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणम् विदिता न मया विशदैककला न च किंचन काञ्चनमस्ति गुरो धृतमेव विधेहि कृपां सहजाम् भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणम् 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 भव शंकर देशिक मे शरणम्। बोलिए श्री भगवान श्री हरि शंकराचार्य भगवान की जय। So we will conclude and we will meet again tomorrow to continue with our Chandogya Upanishad class along with Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankaracharya's Bhashya. So till then you take care, be happy, safe, peaceful, healthy, do your work, do your sadhana, and see you again tomorrow. Hari Om. Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. 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 Jaya Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram. बोलिए सियावर रामचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।